So today we're gonna build this beautiful looking login and sign up page UI with React.js and Chakra UI library. So if you're not yet following this MERN Chat App tutorial series, link to the full playlist will be in the description below. So the login section has an email address field and a password field which can be shown by clicking on this show button or hide button. Similarly, with the sign up page, we have fields for name, email address, password, and uploading our picture. So let's open up VS Code, and I've opened up the project that we have built up until now. And if you go inside the front end, we have app.js where we have both of the routes for homepage and chat page. And inside of the pages, I'm going to go inside of the home page and I'm going to start building over here because this is going to be our home page, right? And when we log in, then we are inside of our chats page. So all of the operation related to login and sign up is going to be done in the home page. So let's log out. So let me start the app real quick. Oops, I started the backend, my bad. Let's switch to front end and start the front end. So here's our home page. Now before starting up, I would like to give some default styles to our app. So if I go inside of app.css, first of all, I'm going to import a font in our app, which we're going to use in the future. So I'm going to go to the Google and type work sans and go to this link. So here's Google Fonts site and we need light 300. So select this style and click on import and just take this line and paste it inside of the app.css. This way we can access this font whenever we want. Now if you go inside of the app.js, you're gonna see we have a class name equals to app. So I'm gonna give this app some default styles. Dot app, I'm gonna give it some minimum height of 100 viewport, display of flex. Also, you might have noticed in our app we have this beautiful blue background, right? So where will you get this background from? Just go to github.com. Obviously you can use your own background, whatever you like. But if you want to use my background, you can go to github.com/piyush-eon and go to repositories. And here you're going to find a repository for the chat app. Or you can click on the link in the description below to directly reach this page. Now click on front end. Now inside of the src, you're going to find a file called background.png. So click on this. And here's that background and click on this download button. And let's save this image. I'm gonna take this and put it inside of our src folder, just like that. Awesome. So inside of our app.css, we're gonna add background image URL to be ./background.png. Let's see how does that look. Okay, this is weird. This is repeating itself. So what I'm gonna do now, background size to be cover and background position to be center. Now it should look good. Yep, it looks awesome. And let me remove this home as well. Let me go inside of the home page. Let's remove this home. Now let's start building our home page. So first of all, instead of this div, I'm gonna use something called container, which will come from Chakra UI. So I'm gonna go over here and import from Chakra UI/React. Now inside of it, we can add container. Now what is container? Let's go to our browser and inside of the Chakra UI, documentation, let's search container. So container are used to contain a contents weight to the current breakpoint. So basically containers help us to keep our app very responsive when in a different screen sizes. So if I make this screen smaller, notice this. See how this small container is reacting when the screen is getting larger. So yep, this is how it works. So it takes this max width, which can either be extra large, large, medium, or small. So this is exactly like how containers work in Material UI or Bootstrap. So I'm gonna keep max width to be XL. And I'm gonna center all of the content, center content. You can find all of these props in the documentation if you need any more clarity. So I would highly recommend you to go and read over here Okay, now inside of it, we're gonna write something called box, which will also be imported from Chakra UI. So let's import box. So what is this box? So this box actually works exactly same as the div, but this is imported from Chakra UI / React. And I'll tell you why I'm using box instead of a div in just a minute. Now inside of the box, we're gonna keep our app title, which was this, talkative. So to write this title, we're gonna use something called text from Chakra UI. Now below this box, we're gonna have another box which will contain our login container, the whole of this container. So I'm gonna add another box. And okay, now let me tell you why I've imported these tags from Chakra UI. So when we write CSS in Chakra UI, it's pretty different from our normal CSS. We can directly write our styles inside of these tags. Like for example, if you want to say display is flex, so we can say d equals flex. That's it. We don't need any style or anything, like we don't need to define class name or anything. We can just write inline style with ease. Now if we want to say justify content, see, it's giving me suggestions as well. Center, padding to be 3, background I want to keep white, width to be 100%, some margin, some border radius, and some border width. Let's check it out. Let's go to our app. Yep, you see it's beginning to take shape, but our text is white right now. So let me give some style to our text. So text will have the font size of, so we have different sizes over here. If I go over here and press Control Space, you can see 2XL, 3XL, 4XL, 5XL. So I'm gonna give 4XL, and we're gonna give the font family that we imported, font family to be Work Sans. Yep, color to be black. Yep, see, it looks good, exactly like this. Now let's build this part, this box right here. So inside of this box, we also have this tab bar component for switching both of the tabs to login and sign up. So let's build this. So first of all, let me give the styles to the box, which will be background of white, width to be 100%, padding of 4, border radius of large, and some border width of 1 pixels. Okay, let's see how does that look. Yep, cool. Now to add those tabs for login and sign up, let's go to Chakra UI and search tabs. So in Chakra UI, we have this component for tabs, and what we're looking for is this one. Yep, this is the exact one that we're looking for. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take the whole thing, copy it up, and paste it inside of our box. And let's import this as well. Is it imported? Okay, no, I think I have to manually import it. There we go. You can also import all of these things. Let's go down. Now let's check it out if this looks any better. Yep, you see it's starting to appear. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just add over here text, oops, color to be black. Now let's see. Yep, 1, 2, it's starting to appear. Cool. Now let's make it according to our customization. So variant will be soft rounded. Okay, I don't need green color scheme, so let me remove this. And yep, I want this color scheme. This is better. Inside of the tab list, first one will be for login, and the other one will be for sign up. And this tab list will have margin bottom. So margin bottom will be 1 EM. Cool. Now let's give both of these tabs 50% off width. Yep, now it looks good. Now let's start building the content inside of it. So this tab panel is gonna have a component called login, which obviously doesn't exist yet. And this other one will have the component called sign up. So let's go on and make these components first. So I'm gonna create a new folder inside the src called components. And inside of this, I'm gonna create another folder for authentication. Now here inside the authentication, we will have, oops, where did that go? Yeah, click on this authentication and then create a new file called login.js Make sure this is inside of the authentication, not outside of authentication. And again, right click on authentication and create a new file called signup.js. Now go inside of the login, press RAFCE, enter. We've created the login page similar to sign up, RAFCE, sign up. Cool. Now I'm gonna import the login page here. Import login from // one directory behind components authentication /login. Yep. Similarly, I'm gonna import sign up as well. Just like that. So let me uncomment sign up. Yeah. Now let's check it out. Okay, they are right over here. Now I'm gonna go inside of the sign up page and let's build the sign up page first. Now if you go inside of our finished product, you can see that we have different forms over here. So this is like a stack of all of these forms, right? So we are going to use something called VStack, that is vertical stack from Chakra UI. Stack, yep. So yep, you see we have different stacks, H stack, V stack, etc. So we're gonna use VStack to vertically align our things. Yep, just like this. So instead of this div, I'm gonna say VStack and import it from Chakra UI /layout. Now the spacing between all of these. Now again, if you're thinking how am I able to know that this has this spacing prop, either you can press Control space, you're gonna find all of these props over here, or you can go to the documentation and you're gonna find all of the API reference right over here, all of the props description. So I'm gonna give spacing of 5 pixels between all of them. Now let's start building all of our forms. So for building our forms, I'm gonna import something called form control. So form control is gonna contain one of our forms. So it's gonna have two things. One is form label, and you can see all of these are getting imported as I type this, or this is auto importing from Chakra UI /form control. And the other thing will be input. Make sure it's capital I. So input's gonna have two things. First, let me import this. Yep, just like that. So input will have two things. One is placeholder. Placeholder, which will say enter your name. And the other thing will be onChange method. So onChange, I'm gonna create states for it in just a second. So let's create the states first. So right here, I'm gonna say use state. This will be called name, and initially it's gonna be empty. And we're gonna have states for email, confirm password, picture, etc. So let me just quickly create those states. Yep, just like this. So we have email state, confirm password, and for our picture. So now if we go here, I'm gonna say it's gonna take an event and set name to e.target.value. Let's check it out. Inside the sign up, okay, this is also white. Let me make it black. Also inside of the form control, I'm gonna say ID is first name, and this field is required. So I'm gonna say is required. So on this VStack, I'm gonna say color to be black. Yeah, now let's check it out. This is weird. What did I do wrong? Oh, instead of the form label, we are supposed to write name. Yep, you see? Name and the field for it. But this is weird. I can't see this form right here. You know what I'm thinking? Instead of providing color black everywhere, we can just simply go to app.css and just give this color as black and save this. So now automatically everywhere we're gonna have the black color. Let's create a form control for our email. Enter your email. And instead of set name, I'm gonna say set email. Now similarly with password, but it's gonna be a little bit different. So if I go over here, I'm just gonna copy this up. So it's gonna be password. Type is gonna be password. So I'm gonna create a state for changing the password. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this input inside of something called input group. So is it imported? Yep, it's imported. So I'm gonna keep this input inside of the input group so that we can add this input right element. Let's import this. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it just a second. Okay, so what I've done over here is I've created this input right element, and inside of this I've given a button for showing or hiding. So this show is gonna be a state. So let's create this state. Let's say show, and by default this show state is gonna be false. So if it's false, then it's gonna show the show text, otherwise it's gonna show the hide text. Let's see. Yep, you see, just like this. If we click on show, nothing happens right now, but I'm gonna make the functionality work. So over here on the button, I'm gonna add an on click. It's gonna do something. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna invert the value. So this handle click, let's get the handle click over here. Yep, it's gonna just invert the value of show. And when the show's value is inverted, what I'm gonna do over here is, so I'm gonna check. If show is true, then it's gonna be text. Otherwise, this is gonna be password. Yeah, just like that. Let's check it out. Yep, it's working fine. Awesome. Now similarly, we're gonna create for confirm password as well. So this, I've created for confirm password, and we're gonna use the same show state. And I've added confirm password over here, and yep, everything looks good. Now finally, below this, I'm gonna add another form control for adding our picture. Just like that. So form control ID will be pic. Form label will be upload your picture, and input type will be of file, and it's gonna accept only images. And on change, we're gonna call this function with the first element of our input. I mean the first image. If the user selects multiple images, it's just gonna take one image. So I'm gonna create this post details function. So right over here, I'm gonna just for now I'm just gonna leave this as an empty function. Pics as params. And finally, below this, below everything, we're gonna have a button for signing up. So it's gonna have color scheme of blue, width is gonna be 100%, style is gonna be margin top 15, and on click is gonna go to submit handler function, which doesn't exist yet. So for this also I'm gonna create an empty function for now. When we're gonna go on to add the functionality, then we'll make it work. So just like that. Let's see how does that look. Awesome, it looks good, but okay, this looks weird. This should be white, I think. This is weird. I don't know why Chakra UI is acting a bit weirdly. It's like first it wasn't displaying all of the color black, and now this color scheme is little off. Hey guys, so this is Piyush from the future. So I don't know what the issue was. If it's happening for you as well, the color schemes are off. What you can do is you can basically just reinstall React and reinstall all of the Chakra UI packages as we did in our previous episodes, and I think you'll be good to go. So I don't know what happened with the previous version of the app, but all I did was I deleted that folder and just created a new folder and did all of this stuff again. So I mean, this is fixed now, so you can continue the tutorial. Okay, now let's go on and build our login.js file. So it's gonna be similar to what signup.js is. So I'm gonna go to login.js, and instead of this, I'm gonna say vstack. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this up and paste it inside of here. So let's import all of these things from label, input. Yep, it's getting imported. Input group, input right element, button. We don't need confirm password and picture uploading functionality, so remove that. And yeah, I guess all of this is done. We don't need post details, we don't need these two states. Let's import use state as well. Okay, I guess this is fine. Yep, name, email, password, so we don't need name as well. Let's remove the name, the state as well. Okay, that looks good, I guess. So for password, set password. Oh, okay. I think I forgot to change this. So set password, and over here as well in the signup.js, we're gonna have set password. Yep. I need to change this thing to login. Okay, so one more thing we're gonna have is this thing, get guest user credentials. So I'm gonna add another button over here with the variant of solid, color scheme of red. With 100% on click, it's gonna set the email and password to these default guest credentials. So if we go back, yep, it looks good. I mean it doesn't look good. So, but yeah, again, I'll just check why these colors are so light and why is this happening. So yeah, this was our login and sign up UI. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notifications on if you're excited for this playlist. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.